another episode of Delta Media Group's Unlocking Your Potential. You can see I've got two special guests with me today. We've got Delta Media Group owner Mike Meinert, and we also have Franklin Stauffer here.
Hello.
So today we're going to jump into Market Watch reports. And like we do with all the Unlocking Your Potential videos, what we're really trying to show you here is why you care about these features, why these are useful, what they mean to your business. So just to give you a real brief idea of what we're talking about with these Market Watches, a Market Watch report is a report that you can set up for your customers based on a map area or the name of a market, like a school district or a city name, something along those lines. And then it will automatically send an email out to that customer with information about that market and some sample properties from the market. So tomorrow, when we do our Tech Tuesday, we'll go into detail about what you can do with those and how to set them up. But for today, what are these things for?
Yeah, so, and I actually invited Franklin to be here because he was going to give a little bit of a perspective from a salesperson's point of view. And Franklin works in sales here, and we were chatting about it. I thought, wow, this would be a good conversation to have. But before we get into that, I want to talk briefly about why we did Market Watch, because I think it's important for you to understand why we created the Market Watch report and how it relates to your business. And actually, Market Watch has its start about 13 years ago here. It's that old. It's evolved over time. But we created Market Watch because one of the primary reasons is the issue we saw in the industry where realtors would have infrequent repeat business. In other words, you would sell a property to somebody and then 5 years later you found out that they sold their house but they used a different realtor, they never reached out to you, that type of an issue. And the trending data that we saw from NAR as it relates to that issue. And so what we did is we said, wow, from a customer perspective, what do customers care about? And it was my belief, and it still is today even more so, that anybody who has any interest whatsoever in real estate would care about what's happening in their local marketplace. And so that would be homeowners, people that are selling their home, people that are looking to buy a home, anyone that's in the market, so to speak. Even myself, I bought a house a year ago, and I care about the Market Watch report in my area. And so I wanted to talk about that because as Franklin and I were talking about Market Watch, this is one of those tools that it's kind of long term. It's not from a sales perspective. Let's just be frank and open here. It's not immediate gratification.
Right.
If you're looking to close a deal in the next 30 days, the next 60 days, or even this quarter, Market Watch probably isn't the tool for that, I would say. However, Market Watch, this is one of those things that our large customers, so the large brokerages in the country, they pay close attention to this. To them, this is a high priority, the Market Watch. And as we were chatting about, let's just talk about why we care about it as homeowners, because I think that's a good perspective for the audience.
Absolutely. So I have Market Watches set up to run to me every month just to get a good idea on what is the value of properties in the area where we live. Always looking for investments, so I am also a landlord. Always want to get a good idea on what things are going for, what is the market activity, days on market. It's just a good idea to give you an idea of what does your community look like from a numbers perspective and the market itself as far as real estate is concerned. And when it relates to a sales perspective of the value of these Market Watch reports, it's one of those things like Mike mentioned that isn't going to help you close a deal this year necessarily, or even in the next 2 years, but it's something that's going to have a long-term effect on your consumers or your clients, because it's going to help them, even if they just bought a home a couple years ago, get a good idea on what real estate's going for in their area, if maybe it's a good time for them to look at selling, or maybe the market's so hot right now they have a good chance of moving to something better just because of how their situation looks. So it's something that is important to look at your long-term sales goal, because even as it relates to me in real estate technology sales, it's not something where I want to be able to have myself doing a call every single month. It's a lot of work, and I know it's not going to pay off for a couple of years. The Market Watch is a great tool because it's automated. So even if you know this person isn't really going to be looking for a home in the next couple of years, You know that this is going to be a tool that might get them to come to you in a few years when it's a better time for them, and you didn't have to put that effort in to call them every month because the MarketWatch is set up to give them that update automatically. It doesn't even have to be on a monthly basis. It could be quarterly. So if you know somebody just closed on a property last year, but you want to keep them in your sphere of influence and you want to make sure that they're getting a touch from you and you're top of mind, you can set that up to run quarterly to them because it's still information that's valuable to them as a homeowner, not necessarily directly getting them to close a deal with you next year. And that's kind of the mentality that, as you and I were talking earlier, that a lot of the big players in the industry is, your number 1, 2 in their markets, they've got that nailed down of, you don't need that instant gratification. You're going to have those deals coming in long term because you've got automated processes in place to keep you top of mind for your long-term customers.
Yeah, so this is actually, so MarketWatch, and just I want to point out too that tomorrow on Tech Tuesday, you're going to be doing training on MarketWatch. So I think
That's the plan.
yeah, so I think that's really important. But for this, even somebody you just sold a home to, this is a tool that you can set up and run so that your customer stays up to speed on what's happening in their marketplace. We all know they care. I know I care. You care.
Absolutely.
It's that when the house down the street goes up for sale, even if you just bought your house, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
Well,
how much did it sell for?
What's it listed for? How many bedrooms? You're curious. We'll even go to an open house and we have no interest, but we do have an interest. We want to know what's going on. We care about our investment, if you will, or the home that we own. So that's important to even people that just bought a house. So I look at it this way. This is one of those things. Setting up a MarketWatch is one of those behaviors that needs to become almost second nature to you because it's one of those tools that pays off big time in the long run. It helps to build your long-term business. We focus on the short term, on the immediate sales, on this month and the next month, but this is one of the things that really helps to build your business over time. And a couple other things I do want to point out on what MarketWatch really has. It does have, and you'll see it tomorrow in Harley's video, but it has a lot of information about what's going on with current inventory. So listings new to the market, listings that are changing status, listings that are selling, but it also has in there market trending graphs. That shows the trend of what's happening over a 2-year period within your local market, or really that homeowners or that soon-to-be homeowners, local market that they're looking at. So it's one of those reports that just has to become second nature. And as Franklin mentioned, we're in the process right now. We have a lot of very large companies that believe in this so much long-term that they're wanting us to even automate the setup of these for people that transact, to keep them up to speed on what's happening in their local marketplace. So this is one of those I guess, non-immediate gratification tools that is critical to your business, especially building it long term. Yeah, focus short term, but also focus long term. So tomorrow we're going to go through how to set up the MarketWatch and go over various details of it. There are 4 different ways to set them up. They're highly customizable.
You can set them to go out to an individual. You can actually even share them on social media.
Yeah.
So these are they're a cool thing to set up, and you'll see how easy it is to set them up tomorrow. There's just basically define a market and hit the button and you're done.
Yeah, so when you're watching that tomorrow, I'd like you to be thinking through how can you promote this in your local business. You know, Harley mentioned via Facebook, that's a good way to share those. And then even ask for the people on Facebook, your followers, to take action. Hey, if you'd like one of these, reach out to me and I'll set it up for you. It's no cost. Love to communicate what's going on in the marketplace. Even with people that you meet, just becoming second nature of offering this or even setting it up for them, letting them know what you've done. And that's why we put the frequency control. So how often it can be sent. That's why we even went as long as quarterly. We may even have biannually on that one. I don't know. We have so many different customizations, but at least quarterly on this one. Anywhere from weekly to quarterly, this could be set up. So yeah, tomorrow, let's watch the video on how to set these up. But I want you to really see the importance of this. And as you watch that video, yeah, learn about it, but think about how you can leverage MarketWatch in your local business.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us, and I can't wait to see you again. Of course, I can't really see you, but I can't wait to see you again on tomorrow on Tech Tuesday. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.